Okay, so I was just watching the news this morning before work, and the lights went out. And we've had a couple issues here where lights have gone out, but they've come back on. And usually you get a couple flickers or you get a couple on and offs. This was just like one shot, completely off. So we're in complete darkness here, and this is actually looking out the front, and as far as the eye can see, there's no lights on. There's no street lights, no house lights, absolutely nothing, which is weird. When we've had issues in the past with the power being out, usually, we know who's going to be on, who's not. Like our neighbor across the street, us, we would all be out together, but then down the street, they would be still on. So I don't know. There's been some odd things with substations lately. I've seen. I know our friends. They were out of power. It was like a 1,700 people without power, and it was a substation failure. So I don't know if that's what we got going on here or what.
I don't know if you can hear that or not in the background, but we're on emergency power. I got the generator running. So I don't know. I just looked it up on the outage map, and there's just under 10,000 customers with 2 outages. So that's not a pole or a transformer. That's got to be substation issues. And that's just, to me, odd that there's been 2 big failures now that I think about it. There was one that our friends, where that was a larger outage had, and then there was also a substation outside of a small city that was bad as well, and that was a couple thousand customers as well. So I don't know if it's just equipment failure or if it was equipment that was installed all at the same time and now it's just failing. But just seems odd. We've been without an outage for a long time.
I was going to do a video on these old Rayovac Sportsman 360 fluorescent lanterns. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, and these come in pretty handy. I know everyone's going LED, and these take the large lantern batteries. It takes 4 of them. But this morning I was kind of like, okay, so what are we going to do here? I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to go down and get 2 of these together. And it puts out a nice amount of light, that's for sure, and it's quick. It was on within seconds, and we had light illuminating everything. So we actually got stuff in the coolers here. We're getting ready to go camping tonight after work. So, and I know I've gone through this a couple times, but the light above the sink here is the light that's illuminating the kitchen. I don't have these lights on that circuit, which I think is okay. I got both refrigerators going right now, so this one's been running, and then downstairs I got a extension cord running to that one, a real heavy extension cord, and I've never used the cord before, but I took it out of its packaging, and both ends are lighted. So the end you plug in is orange that you plug into the wall, and the end that you use to plug something into it is green. So when it lights up, I'm like, well, that's kind of neat. Kind of like that. And then over here, we got 2 lights that are above the counter here. Those are tied in. And then also our sunroom, because that was added on, that must have been tied in with those same circuit from the kitchen. So we got lights in here as well, which I don't know, it's good for now, but during the winter months we wouldn't be in there. So this is kind of our command central here now. The kitchen here, just the way I got it set up. This is where we got the power, so if we need to charge something, we got outlets in the kitchen here, the microwave, that's good. All the outlets on this wall, so if we need to run something, charge anything. And then also the outlets on this wall, which include the refrigerator, and I think that outlet there. So yeah, this looks like this could be a long one. It's over 10,000. It just keeps bumping up now, and I just messaged my supervisor to let him know. I'm like, I might be late, I'm not sure, just to get the family out of the house here and going. And he said, yeah, we don't have power here either, and he lives in a completely different area, so it's a pretty good outage. Man, that generator is loud.
So I think the power went out around 4:30 and 4:30 a.m. And I was one of the first ones. See, the thing is, we're not supposed to run any engines or cut lawn before 7 a.m. and I was like, well, look, this is an emergency type situation, so I'm gonna fire it up. So I got ours out and turned it on, and I could hear, before I started mine, I could hear something else running. And there's a guy down the street from us that has an automatic transfer unit that kicks in when the power goes out, so his must have turned on. And I just started ours and ran it, and then the wife took the dog for her walk with the flashlight, and I asked if anybody else had it on. She said not on the way going out, but on the way back she said there was a bunch of people running them already. So, and now our neighbor across the street, he's got his going too. So, and that wasn't until the big storm that we had a couple years back, where we didn't have power for a couple days. I think it was 3 days without power. And I think everybody kind of learned a lesson there, like you got to have something, because you just can't have power. You can't go without power for 3 days. It just doesn't work. So everybody's got a backup plan. And normally I wouldn't run it, but I looked at the restoration time, and it's not until about 7:30. So that would be what, about 3.5 hours, and that's estimated. You know, if they run into a snag or something else happens. So, and there's a couple schools now that are actually running either delays or at least notifying the parents that, hey, they don't have power at school. So it's gonna be a while. All right, so we got power back. The power came back on, I guess, a little after 7, about 10 after. That's what my wife said before she left from work. She said everything was back on. So kind of just to wrap everything up, what I think you should probably have during a situation like that would be probably some lanterns, battery operated, if you're going to use them on the inside. And that's just good to have either in between that transition where you don't have power and you don't have the emergency power on yet, or if you just decide, nah, we're going to wait it out, we really are in no need for it to come back on, we can wait an hour or two, or you know, maybe it's just a short outage. They're good to have. And then, like I said, this extension cord, let me turn the light off, I can show you it. So it's lit up on both ends. So this end here is green, you can see that, which is nice. And then the end that you're plugging in lights up as orange. And I think that's really important, especially in a situation where you're doing emergency power there, because then you know when you're plugging it in, oh, I got power at this outlet with the generator, that's perfect, then you can run your cord. And like I said, this cord I use for a refrigerator downstairs. I just run the cord from the transfer panel. I have an outlet that's hot with the generator, and then that goes right to the refrigerator downstairs. So that's just a quick extension there. And this is a 12 gauge cord, and it just stays downstairs. That's part of my like emergency prep part, is the lanterns, and then the cord that's hung up on the wall. So lanterns are good, and then also a good flashlight. We keep one right by the bedside, so that if for some reason you need it, you can get the flashlight to get the lanterns. And then the batteries for the lanterns, I've just been I leave them out just so they don't rot. These lanterns, I've never had these before, but I saw a couple guys had them listed, and we ran it to like a flea market where there were a few of these. I think I paid like $4 a piece. And all I did was have to clean them up. I didn't have to buy bulbs and batteries. Batteries I had to buy. I think I got like $12 in batteries per lantern. But yeah, I cleaned them up and they work good. So for $4, it's good. And they put out a heck of a lot of light. So, all right, that'll be it for now.